Recognizing the member for Peace River North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do want to address very briefly Parksville Qualicum comments as well regarding democracy and the challenges. Democracy is challenged when you use your majority of a shutdown to force closure on the debate on one of the largest pieces of legislation in BC history, one that impacts, is most impactful on our healthcare professions. That's when we see democracy being threatened in this place. Madam Speaker, every day our opposition caucus hears from countless healthcare professionals who are deeply concerned and increasingly anxious about Bill 36. All of these individuals are vital to our province and continue to work under incredibly difficult circumstances. And it's important that we listen to their concerns. And I know that the NDP and the Green Party are getting the same emails and calls that we are. Healthcare professionals across British Columbia are worried about the lack of consultation and scrutiny around this piece of legislation as it was rammed through by the government with little opportunity for debate. When this government introduced Bill 36 last fall, the opposition caucus should have been given adequate time to ask questions and inquire about all of the details of the bill. But again, the NDP closed the debate, and with the help of the Green Party, plowed through the legislation with more than 400 clauses left to examine. Honourable Speaker, our caucus voted against this bill because there are far too many unanswered questions. We did not believe that it should have passed with so much left undiscussed and unscrutinized. Quite frankly, we weren't allowed to do our job as opposition. The changes made to the structure of the healthcare regulatory colleges in Bill 36 are some of the most significant in our province's history, and they should not come into force before they have had a genuine chance to be fully canvassed in the legislature. Some of these changes include alterations to regulatory oversight, board appointments, and many more issues that healthcare workers will be directly affected by. Like these health professionals, we have many outstanding questions about the implications of this piece of legislation. Questions that went unanswered when forced closure was invoked by this government. The healthcare workers who are the ones who will feel these changes the most deserve to have their concerns heard. This government did not provide sufficient time to discuss the bill in full detail and explain its rationale behind some of the measures included within it. The government's decision to force the end of debate left our caucus without the chance to ask questions on behalf of all these professionals who are worried about the outcomes that these changes may have. With such sweeping changes, we want to make sure we get full input from the stakeholders who are being impacted. In fact, this is why our caucus recently called on the NDP to refer Bill 36 to the legislature's Select Standing Committee on Healthcare. This will provide a real opportunity for MLAs to hear directly from healthcare professionals and review the hundreds of pages that were left unexamined when this government forced closure on the bill. Unfortunately, the members opposite all voted no and refused to support this plan. This government does not want the review to happen, even though it would be a great opportunity to hear from those who will be affected most by the changes. The NDP is once again falling short by shutting down the chance to give this bill the scrutiny it deserves when those who are being affected by the changes are calling for it. It is especially disheartening to see the government ignore the significant concerns of doctors, nurses, dentists, physiotherapists, and thousands of other healthcare professionals, and even the general public. This government could do the right thing and frankly repair the damage to our democracy that they inflicted when they forced closure and limited the ability of the opposition to do its job. This not only failed to promote true democracy, it also led to legislation that may not take into account what those on the front line of our healthcare system in British Columbia want to see or need to see in their professional. For those worried healthcare professionals, we hope that this NDP government will step up and finally allow a full and thorough discussion of Bill 36. For the sake of our crumbling healthcare system in BC, this legislation must be brought back before this House to be properly scrutinized. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, member.